Hello, everyone. Happy Monday, and welcome back to Sin City Crypto. My name is David. I'll be one of your co-hosts. And what an exciting day to be alive today. We have so much to talk about. Richard Hart has officially been sued by the SEC, and a trial has been demanded. What does that mean? Are you buying HEX? Are we buying HEX? We're going to discuss that. Also, the SEC told Coinbase delist everything except Bitcoin prior to suing them. We're going to talk about that, and a big hack in the Ethereum DeFi ecosystem. We're going to discuss that and much, much more. But first, here is your other co-host. Hello, Robin.
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, well, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take old, boring, and stale information and, well, we pack it up in a fun and sexy way. Other channels are boring, bro.
Let me ask you a question.
Are we going to bring the fire today or what?
Let me ask you a question. When you saw the news about Richard Hart being sued, were you surprised? Were you relieved? What were your initial emotions?
Definitely not surprised.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Like, there's no way you can keep just launching these tokens, being as flashy as you are, have all these red flags out there, and
so you're
not
saying,
expect the heat to get turned up.
So you're saying if he wasn't as flashy, he would have gotten away with it? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying he would have got away with it, but it seems to be more front and center. Like, if you have the perception of, if you're carrying the perception that you're making money or making moves in an illegal manner, that's front and center, and then yet you come out and you're just super flashy. I mean, it just brings attention to you, right? But what was the Denzel movie where he was at the boxing match? What was that? He shows up to the boxing match. Denzel.
American Gangster.
Yes.
In a mink coat.
In the mink
and
coat.
He told his wife, I don't want to do this. It's going to bring heat.
And that was the turning point of the movie, right?
That's a good analogy.
That is very subtle, right? It was a very small part of the movie. It was not like he didn't reflect on that moment over and over again in that movie. But that movie fundamentally changed his perception, and it put more eyeballs on him, and that was it. And that's where things changed. So what I'm saying is that the optics, how you perceive yourself, ultimately can expedite a process of enforcement, I guess, where I'm getting at.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Blockchain's supposed to be transparent, right? That's kind of the ethos of it.
Yeah.
With the exception of a couple. And the HEX ecosystem is shrouded by it's a veil of
Say what's on your mind, bro. Say what's on your mind.
It's a veil of misdirection, right? You have to sacrifice, right? Basically, hey, let's do an ICO, and instead of saying, hey, send me Ethereum for the ICO to get token allocations, you're sending Ethereum to a mysterious address that you're supposedly sacrificing. And the address is blacklisted and nobody really knows what's going on with it. But the tokens are there. And so somebody receives the tokens, and then when you ask for the transparency and says who controls those wallets, there's a misdirection, and there's like, no, that's not what it is, and it's very simple. It's blockchain. If I send you Ethereum to an address, that's where it went. It wasn't a burn address. The tokens didn't disappear. It went to an address. And that was the sacrifice address.
So you do believe...
And so basically the dude is just, he's masking what it is, right? It's an ICO. Let's be real, right? Let's just think about, remove all the terminology. I have a new token coming out. Would you like some, David?
Yes.
Okay, send me Ethereum to this address. What is that? It's a private sale. It's an ICO. You're going to token allocation, right?
Yeah.
Now, what if I said, okay, instead of sending it to this address, David, sacrifice it to this address? Is it any different? You're still sending the Ethereum. You're sending the transfer button. And so all of this is just a facade. It's a veil to have a different perception for what it really is. Now, here's the thing. I'm not against an ICO. I'm not against raising money for cap. I'm not against, but the thing is I've always been hesitant for the simple fact that you're doing something and calling it something and it isn't. You're trying to pretend that your ICO is something it's not. You're trying to say it's not an ICO. It is an ICO. Give me Ethereum and I'll send you tokens. That is literally an ICO. That is how you launch a token. That's exactly how you do it. But instead, you're saying, send it to this mysterious address, and I'm not going to tell you when you ask me where those tokens went.
So you do believe, okay, so the idea of a burn wallet is no one has the keys. So it just sits there in the wallet, no one has access. You believe someone has access to those keys.
It's not a burn address. A burn address, the tokens are gone. You send Bitcoin to a wrong address and you hit send, it is gone forever. It is burned. The Ethereum was not burned. The Ethereum left an Ethereum wallet address and went to a different one. And on multiple interviews, when he was asked who controls the wallet, what's going on, now, just because it goes to a wallet doesn't mean that's fraud. I'm not saying that. But if he was to simply say, hey, that's the token treasury, whatever it is, that's the foundation money.
A lot of misdirection.
Like if he would have just said what it is, but I don't understand why you got to go through those hoops. Now, I do understand that if you are trying to gain the system, you're trying to avoid prosecution, you could say, hey, an ICO could get me sued. So why don't we call it something else? Hey, people are gonna, if I keep it in a treasury wallet, they might ask me like, what am I doing with the coins? Where are they going? How are they sitting? So why don't we just say you sacrifice them? So, everything is just, it's muddied, right? And then when you ask the dude questions, he's very methodical with his answers. He's very abrasive and he attacks. And he's good at it. And so when he's painted as a fraud, and I'm not calling the dude a fraud, but I'm just saying when he's accused of being a fraud, when he's asked tough questions, when there are people, educated people that are simply coming out and asking him like, yo, where are these tokens going? What's going on? Can you answer these questions about your own project? He belittles the people that ask him the questions, and he deflects.
The same thing. Here's the thing, though. For me, it was like you're asked a very direct question. Who controls the keys to the sacrifice wallet? I mean, that's about as simple as it gets, right? It's like we sit here and we look at Gary Gensler, testifies in front of Congress. Is Ethereum a security? Well, and we all get frustrated because he refuses to say yes or no. It's simple. Yes, it's a security. No, it's not a security. Same thing with Richard Hart. Richard, do you control the keys to the address people send Ethereum to? Yes or no? It's pretty simple. If you don't, say no. If you do, say yes. And that is where a lot of people have issue, including myself. Now, what I don't have an issue with is our network. And there's a great reason for that. And that reason is Cam's Blue Wire Technology. The first channel sponsor today. Big shout out to them. If you own a business and you want to maximize your networking, your IT, and your cybersecurity, there's no better company than Cam's Blue Wire Tech. Visit bluewiretech.com or click the link in the description of this video. More on HEX and Richard Hart coming. But first, let's lighten up the mood here a little bit, my friends.
And also, guys, do me a favor. We are at a 30% like ratio. This is insane.
Wow.
Do you not like this show? Are you upset that we're turning the heat up on HEX? Regardless, just do us a favor, hit the like button. Thank you.
Yes.
And also, if you're new here, say hello so we can drop an hola back at you. You got just a handful of new people. Jerry, YM, Paul Wu, and Wavy. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Mio1, we met him at the party. Nice to meet you, my friend. Thanks for coming out. To those of you that were there, thank you. We had a great time. I hope I got to meet all of you that were there. I know I met a lot of you. And I just want to give an update. Destroyer is still looking like a destroyer. Now, let's say, dude is jacked, bro. I'm sorry. All right. So, Rocco, let's check out some funnies here. So, Rob, I found this. So here's a man, and it's the simple things in life. Also, this one just pretty much speaks for itself.
Hey,
You think that's his pet alligator, or he just jumped into the swamp and just found the closest alligator? Like, hey, you want to dance?
you
There is
know,
no such a
maybe
pet
he
alligator.
he could have like hit the dance floor and just got turned down, and then maybe he was trying to
Go to the swamp.
Yeah, he was like, you know what? I'm gonna find me a one.
I know what it is.
What is
It's
it?
just a pair of shoes. You know the shoes that
Pair of shoes.
they just get the whole alligator attached.
Stupid. Guys. All right. So this was kind of funny. Colorado Department of Transportation replaced the mile marker 420 with 419.99 because it kept being stolen by stoners. So, smart move, guys. Good job. I've never seen a mile marker that way. But Elon, the master troll. I love Canada, and well, he loves Canada. Is Elon just like the troll goat or what, man? And then Rocco, I'm curious, is this something that, you know?
Oh man, that's
Why you do that to me?
It's
You
a
do that
pasta
in purpose.
pizza.
You do that in purpose, right?
It's a pizza pasta.
It's not. It's
pizza
something
pasta.
else. You know, we were talking about the aliens.
Yeah.
That's their meal.
This is what they eat. Rob, how much would I have to pay you to try this?
I mean, it looks edible. I don't think it's like disgusting, but it's just wrong, you know? It's like, I don't know, putting like chocolate syrup on a waffle or something.
Oh, bro, that's the bomb.
There we go. You see, Doritos and yogurt.
I'm just kidding. But Doritos and yogurt, don't knock it until you try
Yeah,
it.
no, it's just like unnecessary, or, you know,
You're unnecessary.
putting a banana in a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Like, it doesn't need it.
You know what else is?
The pizza doesn't need the spaghetti. That's what I'm saying.
You know what else is unnecessary?
I don't need a co-host.
Wow.
Yeah.
You do. Okay, so CBDCs, big talking point. I have a couple videos I want to show you. So this is from Wall Street Silver. China developed an app to tell users whether they are within 500-meter radius of someone who is on the blacklist of the social credit system. This alerts who you may want to stay away from, lest your social credit score goes down as well. Man, well, this is so look at this, bro. And you know, this is part of the reason why a lot of people are so against, afraid of, refusing a CBDC. And can you imagine giving this amount of control and power to the government? Here's another one from Illuminati Bot. China's social credit score experiment gains momentum. Now, if a person with a low rating calls you, your phone emits a siren instead of the usual ringtone. Then there is a voice reminder that a conversation with this person will lead to a decrease in your own personal score. You know, this is pretty.
That's crazy.
This is pretty scary and crazy, man. You know, I have mentioned there are potential benefits of a CBDC, but stuff like this far outweighs those.
Here's the thing, man. If you think that this is so out there, it couldn't come here, you're mistaken.
I 100% agree.
And we're already seeing this slowly come its way in. And the thing is that you got to desensitize people, right? And so we can start. It was in the 80s, I think it was, or maybe late 70s. I was watching a documentary on credit cards where there was no credit score. And people back in the 80s didn't even know what a credit score was. And so there was like, because at first a credit score was secretly, it was more of a internal and industry-wide kind of system. And so it wasn't widely known to people. It wasn't widely discussed, and people didn't even understand what the score system was. If you would have told them, hey, you got a 700 on your credit score or a 300, they wouldn't really even know what you're talking about. And then later on, as it became more common, then this became more the norm. It desensitized you. The people at first got up in arms, like, man, I want a credit score. Like, how are you gonna justify me with a number on how reliable I am to pay bills or the possibility of defaulting on a loan? And that there was a pushback on that. Now it's common, right?
It's the norm.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I applied for a job. I mean, this was maybe about 6 years ago, or no, 7. I don't know. Anyway, within the last 10 years, I applied for a job, and I remember they wanted my social security number, and they said on there, and this was not the first one, this was one of many, they were going to do a credit check for a job application. And I'm just thinking, like, why does my credit score and my ability to make payments, why is this getting taken into account for my employment? I don't know. And you can make an argument and be like, well, if you show responsibility in your finances, you're more likely to be responsible in your work environment. But is that any different of an argument with answering the phone with people that are irresponsible? Could you say, hey, if you socially interact with a bunch of degens that hang out at the bar all day and have had cars repossessed, are you more likely to get your car repossessed? The fact of the matter is it probably is. And so if we live in a world where I'm judged by my payment history on getting employment, why on earth would it be that far of a stretch to think, hey, the people I hang out with that defaulted on their car, maybe they'll influence my ability to get a loan because they can actively see, hey, 5 of his friends, 5 of the 10 people he hangs out with defaulted on their car.
What if it's family members, Robin? What
Exactly. It doesn't matter. You can replace family with friends, with coworkers, you could say, hey, people that work at casinos in downtown Las Vegas have a higher percentage chance of defaulting on their car loan. If you work at Caesar's Palace or MGM, a place that's a little bit more posh, you got less of a chance. And then they can say, hey, look where that guy works. Hey, look who he hangs out with.
It's the same way, in the life insurance industry, you have these underwriters that look at your risk, right? That is how they give you a premium rate on how much money they want from you to insure your life. And if you work in a casino where they know people smoke cigarettes, you're walking through, especially if you're a cocktail waitress, you're inhaling secondhand smoke. So to them, the risk is higher that you might die soon, and they might have to pay out that $250,000, $500,000, $1 million life insurance policy, so they're going to make you pay more money. But the point that the government can literally track who you're speaking to, what that person does, gives you a social credit score. So if I say something on my channel that is not in line with the government, I can be tagged, and anyone who talks to me, anyone who calls me, anyone who hangs out with me, they get penalized. That's the dumbest thing ever.
Imagine we're doing the show and we say the LGBT community and we leave out 2 letters and they punish us for it. Like,
That's
hey,
what
man,
I'm saying.
like
and in some states, that is hate speech
you
now.
singled out 2 of the letters, bro.
I'm not very good at
alphabets. You didn't bring them all out. You left a couple letters behind, bro. You're gonna get dinged for that.
You know what else we've left behind? A couple likes. Guys, come on, man. 72 likes, 140 people watching. We can do better as a community. We can do better. I believe in you. I also believe in taking a look at what this week holds for us. So this is the economic calendar, something we like to show every week to make sure you know what's going on and what could potentially impact your trades or your investments. So we have the JOLTS report coming out tomorrow. That is a big one. Now, I've got to remember, guys, the Fed is not meeting again until mid-September. And these are one of the reports, excuse me, that they put a lot of weight on. Job opening and labor turnover. All right, that is coming out tomorrow. Also, on August 4th, non-farm payrolls is coming out as well. So these are a few things to keep in mind. If we get an unfavorable or unemployment ticks up or the JOLTS ticks up, then be prepared. We might see some volatility for crypto and Bitcoin and the traditional markets as well. Also, what we do like to do on Mondays as well is give you an update on the top 100 tokens and what's going on. We have the long-awaited Babylon upgrade coming to Radix today. I heard some rumors it might have gotten pushed back. We'll have to do a little more digging, but as of right now, it's supposed to go live today. Bunch of AMAs happening, including on Theta, GMX. Optimism is doing a Twitter Spaces. BNB is doing a Twitter Spaces. We talked about this last week. Lido will discontinue support for Polkadot and Kusama starting August 1st, which is tomorrow. Also, Litecoin the Litecoin Foundation will be having a Twitter space tomorrow. And so if you have questions or you want to know what they're preparing for the halving, which is going to be August 5th, that is coming up as well. Now, I do want to throw something out there, okay? Just because the Litecoin emissions get cut in half, just like Bitcoin, right? Everyone sees it as price is going to go up. You still need a catalyst, right? Just because supply goes down doesn't mean the price all of a sudden goes up. You still need the demand to be there. And ask yourself this question: is demand there for Litecoin right now? To me, the answer is no. All right, Robin, I want to send it to you for the Market Watch, but before I send it to you for the Market Watch.
See?
What? I'd like to give a shout out to second channel sponsor, I Trust Capital. If you are a hodler, I don't like saying that. I'm going to say hodler. If you're a hodler and you want to enjoy your crypto gains tax-free, think of it this way. Will taxes be higher or lower in the future? My opinion, they'll be higher. Don't you want to enjoy your crypto gains in retirement tax-free? And the way you're going to do that is you're going to set up a Roth IRA account at the leading crypto IRA company out there, that is I Trust Capital. If you use a link in our description, you will receive a free $100 in crypto once you fund your account. With that being said, Robin,
¿Qué pasa?
how the market's looking, bro? We know HEX is down. We're going to talk about that. But what's Bitcoin doing? What's Ethereum?
Man, the markets look amazing. Did you know the price of one Bitcoin is currently at $29,000? Holy crap.
Wow.
One Bitcoin is 29 grand, man. It was only like, was it?
3 weeks ago, it was also 29 grand.
Yes. or we can go back 8 years when it was $600 and we can say, wow, look at that growth.
Look how far we've come.
That's right. And so if you're in the space watching this channel, wow, you did it. You did it, guys.
Shut up, dude. Pull up CoinMarketCap. Come on, man.
There it is, $29,155.42. And you can see not too much price action.
Guys,
Started the day.
A big move is coming for Bitcoin. Mark my words. A big move is coming for Bitcoin, and it's going to be to the upside.
So on the week chart,
don't come here.
Nice and steady. Little down from where we were a month ago. And on the 1 year, we haven't taken a look at the 1 year chart here, but you can see even a year ago we were down to 22,000. So just to put in perspective that we are coming out of the bear market bottom at 16,000, and we are damn near 2x away from there at 30K.
Will Bitcoin ever get under 20K again, Robin?
Maybe. I don't know. I can't definitively say that, but I confidently say outside of an extreme black swan event to the negative or downside.
Like what? What would be?
I don't know. Here's the thing. A black swan is something you don't see.
I understand.
And so if we were going to sit here and say, hey, we have a potential for a recession or an area where we print money, nobody was saying they're going to have a global pandemic.
If Binance halts withdrawals,
if
Binance halts withdrawals,
it doesn't matter, man. These are not black swans, or things you cannot predict. There's the things that you don't see coming. And so in the same way a black swan event globally, because these are global financial instruments, things that happen globally, like a pandemic that nobody's seen in 100 years, followed by the political shutdowns of entire cities and just closing down markets, followed by supply shock, followed by a geopolitical war in Ukraine. These things you cannot predict. Or maybe there's some lunatic sitting in a cabin with red yarn and thumbtacks. Sure. But reality is these black swan events, you don't see them coming. And so if you were to ask me, like what? I don't know. And the black swan, FTX going under, there was nobody out there beating that drum when the Super Bowl commercial was on. And so I don't know. And if a black swan will be something that we sit here and say like, man, like we didn't see this coming. That's a black swan. So if you ask me, I don't know. No idea.
Thank you for that, Robin.
You're welcome.
Before we move on from Bitcoin, I do have a Bitcoin chart. Let me tell you why.
And let me ask you guys.
Okay.
If you had to put down a black swan, because I couldn't answer David's question, so he seems a little hurt.
I am.
Yeah. Will you entertain David?
Entertain me.
Give me an example of a black swan. Put it in there. What do you think could be the most catastrophic thing that could happen to crypto?
To drive Bitcoin under 20K.
To drive Bitcoin under 20K.
88 Metal Mania said Bitcoin getting hacked would drop it. A large OG wallet moving large funds. We kind of saw that already. We're seeing it with Ethereum. Is it maybe Satoshi identified?
We'll pick out some good ones out of the chat. So, yeah, put those in there. I will say Satoshi is actually Elon Musk.
Richard Hart. Imagine if Satoshi was Richard Hart. Anyways, I do have a Bitcoin chart, and let me tell you why that I believe that Bitcoin is going to have a massive move, and it's going to be to the upside. If you watch this channel, you know me, my TA. I keep things extremely simple. I take in market sentiment. I look at individual candles and patterns, and I look at them as traders, and traders invest with emotion, okay? So when I take a look at this weekly chart on Bitcoin, we are making higher lows, and we are trending to the upside. Also, if you know me, you know I like flag patterns. And well, what does this look like to you? To me, this looks like an absolutely beautiful bull flag. And what do bull flags do? About 76% of the time, they break to the upside. Here's the beauty of it. We are so close to this trend line here, which would put us, and let me drop a flag here for you guys, which would put us at $28,685. Now, I'm not telling you what you should do, but if Bitcoin gets to $28,685,
damn,
I am putting in
how many cents?
18 cents.
There it is.
I am putting in a substantial buy order on Bitcoin. That's just me personally what I'm doing. This would take us to this trend line, which has held for the past since January of this year. So all year, even this nasty wick back in March, the first week of March, where we wicked down and we saw open to close, open to low wick of 13% over the week. And it still held and came back. Same thing here. We came back down. We consolidated for maybe a week or two, shot right back up. Same thing is going to happen, guys. If I throw on the Ichimoku cloud, we are currently in an uptrend. The cloud is green. The conversion line is over the baseline. The only thing is we are still in our equilibrium zone, which tells us we should not be trading. But once we blow past the top end of this cloud, which is $31,800, it's game over, man. We're going to 36 and we're going to 40. Mark my words. What's the rest of the market look like, Robin?
I was trying to find some good Richard Hart gifs, and man, there's a lot of him twerking. So, that guy is something else.
Remember that one channel he was on? I forget which one it was. He was laying in bed with two women laying next to him. One was half naked, and he was doing the show right there.
Was he?
Yeah. Anyways.
Good memory, Dave.
Look at the rest of the markets, or what are we doing here?
I'm still looking at gifts, bro.
All right, okay. So I guess I'll handle that. Let's pull up the crypto bubbles here. Let's take a look at what the rest of the markets are doing. And well, shocker, the Richard Hart ecosystem is in the red. Now, I will say, HEX at one point was down 36%. It is climbing back. This is HEX on the 4-hour. And guys, this was a massive red candle, the one you see here. If we swap down to the 1 hour, you can see almost an immediate. I mean, this is a bullish engulfing pattern here. So, price action looks bullish for HEX. But should you be buying the dip? And we do have a poll in the chat. Make sure to cast your vote. As far as the rest of the markets, guys, some of the gainers on the day, Caspa's up 4.5%, Optimism up 4.5%. XDC and everything else is pretty much in the red. Curve is down 12.5%. We're going to get into why, what the hell happened to Curve, and are there any other projects that you should be careful of that might see a similar exploit? And then what I did want to take a look at, what is a Gucci stock doing right now? We know Richard Hart's a big Gucci guy, and well, Gucci's down. Gucci is down 1.7%. Robin, who's next? Lamborghini, the diamond miners in wherever they mine diamonds from.
He does. He says he has like the largest diamond in the world.
And that was mentioned in the SEC lawsuit. By the way, guys, we have the official document from the SEC. We're going to go over that here in a second. So markets are red, but fear not, my friends, because we're in this for the long haul. With that being said, Robin, I'd like to take a quick intermission, and I'd like to hear you see if you've been working on your vocabulary, my friend.
My vocabulary, huh?
Yes.
Well, we do have a few new people here. And so if you are new, say hello. But Bam Bam, Buddy Smith, Rat with a W, and Newborn, Nick Alimo. To all of you, hello! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. David, I forgot to set the club limit today.
600 viewers.
No, we're doing it by likes now. We've changed it.
Oh, my bad.
All right, so how many, Rocco, how many
Hold
likes?
on. I thought I was running the show.
How many likes?
Hold on,
I'm the entertainment.
How
here,
come you
man.
didn't confer with me?
I'm the entertainment. I'm the one, like if we're running a club, I'm the one that decides what music we're going to play because...
Why are you yelling? Why are you yelling?
Yeah, why are you yelling? Yeah.
Why are you yelling?
Anyways, go ahead.
Now,
What's the
Yeah,
club
you
limit?
would ask me how many likes do we need to get.
no.
I didn't ask you anything.
I want to know how many likes we got. When we get to triple
okay.
digit likes, it doesn't show me. It just gives me dots on
118.
119. Okay.
Okay.
So, what do you think? You think we can get to 170 today?
175.
No, that's too much.
Okay, 170.
We didn't get to 160 last time.
165.
165. Okay, we'll do that. So club limit is at 165, guys. Let's get the likes up there. When we get to a 165 likes, we will open up the club.
What's the club, Robin?
The club is when we hit new milestones, like 165. And then we celebrate. We have a party. We throw some music up. We see David's horrendous dance moves. And it's got nothing to do with crypto, but it's got everything to do with Vegas. So that's what we do here, baby. Let's go. Brr, brr, brr.
All right. Speaking of, I love that one. Classic Vegas. All right, Rob.
Yeah.
Let's get right into it, man. I woke up this morning. Original theme of the show was something that is not this. But first thing I do is I open up Twitter. That is the fastest trending news I get is I open up Twitter, okay? Or X, as it's called now.
I normally open up my zipper and then I have to take my morning relief.
Yes.
So
thank you for that, Robin. We truly appreciate it.
I'm just saying, man, first thing I do in the morning.
Yeah. Thank you, Rocco. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I can't tell you how that warms my heart.
Okay, that's
Now, first thing I see, Richard Hart sued by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Then I say, let me find one of the most reputable news sources that's left out there in mainstream media. One of those is Reuters. U.S. SEC says HEX crypto founder defrauded investors, spent money on the Enigma diamond. So what do they mean? Let's take a look. The SEC has charged online entrepreneur Richard Hart with illegally raising more than $1 billion in 3 unregistered crypto offerings. And here's a key word, defrauding investors out of $12.1 million to buy luxuries, including the largest black diamond in the world. Richard, I'm sorry, man. You brought this upon yourself, dude. I agree with what Robin said. You're out there. I have the largest diamond. I have the most cars. I have the most watch collection. All the while, your people are sitting here sacrificing their Ethereum, their Bitcoin, whatever else they were, to your, essentially, ICO. He was also accused of spending Pulse Chain investor funds on McLaren and Ferrari sports cars, 4 Rolex watches costing $3 million, and the 555-carat black diamond that cost him roughly 3.16 million British pounds, which is roughly $4.28 million. Now, guys, let's go straight to the source here. The United States District Court for the Eastern District of New York, Securities and Exchange Commission versus Richard Schuler, also known as Richard Hart, jury trial demanded. Jury trial demanded.
Dude, how,
right off the bat,
that
Robin.
would be such a good... Here's the thing. I get jury duty notices all the time.
Would you go?
And I never go, first of all.
I would go.
You go? No.
I would go.
And now, screw it. I just take that damn envelope and I just throw it right in the trash. And I know I'm supposed to show up. I don't
Jesus
do anything else, but I'll just leave it at that. All right.
If Robin's missing the rest of the week, we know why. Literally just out of
It's something you don't do.
You snitching on yourself, bro. What are you doing, man? I've never received one. I don't know.
Man,
What's
I can't, man. Okay. Well, you know, it's yeah. So
Let me ask you this question, Rob.
What's that?
Jury trial demanded. Does that mean anything to you? Does that mean that they are so confident in their case, they don't want a settlement? We want to take this thing to trial.
Have you thought that it's hard to get a judge when they're looking at the evidence? I'm just historically speaking, it's hard to get a judge. You know, you look at the XRP case, right? The Ripple Labs. Hard to get a judge to side with the SEC as of lately, right? You got a couple motions that look like they're going the same direction on the Coinbase case as the Ripple Labs one. And so for me, I just think to myself, I'm like, hey, maybe they're just like, you know what? We're not letting this go down to the judge anymore. We're going to get a jury.
That's an interesting. Okay.
Yeah, see where I'm getting at here?
Okay.
You see where I'm getting at?
I can entertain that
now,
idea.
how many people do you interact with on a routine basis outside of this studio where a conversation on crypto happens to pop up? How many of these people normally look at crypto as a fair market tool, a medium of exchange, and a movement of value?
5%.
And how many people look at it for what the technology is built? And then how many of these people do you talk to? They're like, well, what's it backed by? It sounds like a scam.
95%.
Yeah. And so you put 12 people on a panel and you roll out your evidence on why it's a scam. I don't see a lot of crypto enthusiasts going there like, well, you know what? I was looking at the on-chain data and it actually sounds like, you know, it was just a fair market
people
sale.
who's sitting on the jury.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is one main difference. This also is the complaint is for fraud. So while the other one with XRP was more like a technicality, of, you know, I don't think the jury can really understand the technicality.
That's also a good point, Rocco.
Fraud is relatable, right? Fraud is something that we know. Here's the thing. You could be a kindergartner, you could be 8 years old, and you can understand that you got swindled. You know you got hit with fraud. When I was little, I remember I watched my friend trade his Jordan basketball card for a Pokemon card, and at the time, I knew that the Jordan was worth a lot more. And I was like, bro, what are you doing? You got hustled, bro. And even at a young age, you can realize that. And even the guy afterwards, you know, he went home and he talked to his mom. His mom was like, you got to get it back. You got to get it back. That was like $50 card or something, you know, like in a case or whatever, like rookie thing. And, you know, everybody understood that it was fraud, even little kids. And so at its core, you don't need to know securities law. You can just sit here and say, hey, jury, 12 people. Did this guy commit fraud? Did he steal people's money? Well, go ahead.
Well, I do want to read the summary to this, okay? I read this thing in its entirety, and pretty much everything is a summary. And I'm going to kind of go through this pretty quickly, okay? Richard Hart is an American-born internet marketer living in Finland. He operates through 3 unincorporated alter ego entities: HEX, Pulsechain, and PulseX.
You know, there was some talks on where he is located.
Finland. They're saying Finland.
You know what? I remember watching a couple different content creators, and they were saying that they didn't know where he was. You know, his location.
Do you remember he changed about 2 months ago? He changed his Twitter bio. He took out the whole "I own the largest diamonds." And he just put whatever else, what's on there. We'll take a look here in a second. But beginning in 2019 of December and continuing for the next 3 years, Hart raised more than $1 billion in the unregistered offering and sale of crypto assets in the U.S. and abroad. He engaged in 3 separate offerings: HEX, Pulsechain, and PulseX. Talks about each was a crypto asset security. We've heard this before, but they say their platforms are designed, created, and maintained by Richard Hart. He continually touted these investments as a pathway to grandiose wealth for investors, claiming that for HEX, for example, quote, was built to be the highest appreciating asset that was ever created in the history of man. Hart hired and directed developers to build and maintain the software framework to support HEX and the ecosystem. Although Hart claimed these investments were for the vague purpose of supporting free speech. What? How the hell is a crypto token that pays you 38% annually free speech? He did not disclose that he used millions of dollars of investor funds to buy luxury goods. Hart, HEX, Pulse Chain, and PulseX violated the federal securities laws through the unregistered offer and sale of securities. Additionally, through the misappropriation of investor assets, he defrauded their investors. That's the one, guys. We've heard operating an illegal exchange, selling of illegal security assets, defrauding investors. I think that's a big one, defrauding investors. Beginning in December 2019, Hart offered and sold HEX tokens, promising incentives and bonuses while marketing HEX as the first high-yield blockchain CD, certificate of deposit, which I might add are considered securities launched on the Ethereum network. Additionally, Hart touted a HEX feature dubbed staking, which he described allowing HEX investors to lock up their HEX for a designated amount of time to earn additional HEX tokens. He claimed that investors who participated would get 38%. Between December 2019 and November 2020, Hart, via the HEX public wallet address, accepted more than 2.3 million Ethereum from investors worth more than $678 million at the time of deposits. In exchange for their investment, Hart issued HEX tokens to investors. It appears that 94 to 97% of these ETH deposits were recycling transactions directed by Hart or other insiders, which enabled Richard and other insiders to gain control of a large number of HEX tokens. We know he owns a vast majority. He has control over a vast majority of the HEX tokens while creating the false impression of significant trading volume. Now,
so they're saying that it was not a burn, as we were talking earlier, it was not a burn wallet.
So that is HEX. The next one, number 4, that leads into the burn wallet.
Okay, go ahead.
Pulse.
Okay, my bad. Good.
No, you're good. Between July 2021 and April 2022, Hart conducted additional unregistered offerings he developed called Pulse Chain, offering PLS token, and PulseX, offering PulseX tokens. For both the Pulse Chain and PulseX offering, Hart urged investors to invest by depositing their crypto assets into the Pulse Chain and PulseX public wallet addresses in exchange for a promise to deliver those tokens in the future. Investors invested more than $354 million by depositing, or as Richard called it, sacrificing their crypto assets to the Pulse Chain public wallet, in addition for the promise of future delivery of Pulse tokens. In connection, investors invested more than $676 million by depositing their crypto assets to PulseX, their public wallet, in exchange for the promise of future PulseX tokens. Robin. And it also goes on here, guys. Additionally, Hart and Pulse Chain defrauded investors by misappropriating at least $12.1 million worth of funds. Instead of using these investor funds to develop and market Pulse Chain, or even fulfill his explicit statement that investment funds supported freedom of speech, Hart and Pulse Chain used at least $12.1 million for his personal luxury purchases. And it mentions the diamond yet again, expensive watches, high-end automobiles. Wow. Okay. Robin.
Okay, first of all, let me just give a really quick shout out to Jimmy.
Yeah.
20 gifted memberships. Redman gave 5, followed by 10, so 15 gifted memberships. So big shout out to you two. And also, if you're new here, say hello. Midnight, yes. Theo, Joe, Tori, James, Alex, Chris with the K, Crystal Smith, Chad Bully, GT, Julius, Minwell, Sam S, Roland, 69ers, and Rijal. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Okay, so my kind of first reaction is it possible he's innocent? I just like to kind of like to analyze, right? Because the SEC has broadly attacked a lot of institutions, and I'm just doing this, and I try to take out my own personal thoughts out of this, right? I'm just thinking to myself, like, okay, SEC got a track record of going after people, accusing people of things that are a stretch, and calling things illegal and fraud, and this isn't their first go round, right? So for me, I look at this and I say, okay, Rob, is there merit to these accusations? Is there a situation where this guy is clean and he's just operating a blockchain and the SEC is just hating because they're trying to do the point 2.0? I just can't make that argument. I can't.
Why?
I can't because we have Sin City Crypto here. We are crypto people. We look at this every day and it just does not add up, bro. It does not add up. I'm sorry. You do not. There's a reason things are done in a certain way, right? There's a reason things operate in a certain way. You don't go to a bank and get withdrawals without an ID. Because then, if you have a bank and they're like, well, in this bank, you can just come in and out, and, you know, we know your name and your face, so you ain't got to worry about the ID. You know what I mean? Like there's a reason there's protocols, and there's a reason that there's things that everyone does. There's a reason that the market follows a certain structure, right? And so if you're going to offer an ICO, there's a certain structure for that. There's a way you do it. There's an ethical and moral way of doing it.
Okay, what is that way? What is that way?
It's a textbook example, man. It's transparency, it's blueprint, it's a roadmap. You say, hey, we're gonna have a private sale. We're gonna sell this amount of tokens for this price. Okay, we have venture capital coming in, private sale. We're going to allocate tokens to these people. This is their unlock time. Hey, we're going to have a public sale. We're going to offer tokens this amount. This is how you get whitelisted or whatever it is. This is how you get into this. We have a second round here. And then, hey, we're going to have a roadmap that explains what we're going to do with the tokens, how we're going to allocate them, what the wallet addresses are, how long they're locked up. There is a code of ethics when it comes to running a business is to say, hey, my business is buttoned up, right? And that there needs to be a certain level of accountability, even in blockchain, that you're doing what's right. And at the ethos, at its core level, blockchain is exactly that by being transparent. So when you cover up and you use misdirection and you incentivize your community to lock up tokens for 8 years, and you're saying, hey, we're not going to do an ICO, but send money to this wallet address, and we're going to call it sacrifice. And it's all smoke and mirrors, bro. And for that reason, even then, I can't justify doing it. It doesn't make any sense to me. It does not add up. If I walk in the kitchen and it smells like fish, and you probably cook some seafood in there, bro. Or even if it's not on the counter, is it in the trash? Is it in the sink? Like, I don't know. The evidence from my perspective has not looked good. I don't have hands-on with the case. I don't know how to analyze blockchain data as far as the on-chain movement of wallets and money. But I have not heard any compelling arguments from anybody, not even the founder, not even the man here himself, that tells me otherwise.
You said, is he innocent? Innocent of what? What could he potentially be found innocent for? Okay, you can argue, we can sit there and argue. If it was just he offered an unregistered sale of security, we can sit here and argue, well, it didn't because it was this. But the problem is, when you control over 90% of the tokens, you're out there telling people, invest in me, I'm gonna make you rich. Like, I'm just sorry, guys. The guy brought it upon himself. He's extremely loud, and right after, and I'm sorry, but the word sacrifice is so cringe. Sacrifice your tokens to me. Who says that? The world's largest free airdrop. It was not a free airdrop. So what that leads me to believe is he knew this day was potentially coming, and he just changed the vernacular he used. Instead of saying ICO or invest in tokens, he said sacrifice. Instead of saying just different words he thought that would keep him away from the SEC. Well, that didn't work. Also, when you're out here raising money, getting people to sacrifice their hard-earned money for your tokens that you're launching, and then on the back end, going out and people see pictures of you of walking out of Louis Vuitton with bags and bags of, and I'm not saying, maybe some of that money is his own money. Maybe some of that money came from the wallet that he refuses to say who holds the private keys. And so I'm just sorry, man. Me personally, I have never been a fan of HEX. It doesn't do anything in our ecosystem. Lock it up for 15 years to get 38% interest. I am sorry, guys, but if new money does not come into HEX, it does not matter. It could be 500% APY. If the token is worth shit, you're not getting anything.
Here's the thing. If you just copy another chain and then say it's better without showing it, like, that in itself is not right, right? Now, it's open source code, so you can do it. I can go make a copy of Uniswap, and then I can blindly say, hey, this one's more decentralized than Uniswap. It's faster, whatever it is. I can make those bold claims, but at the end of the day, you're just ripping off somebody else's project. And so from the perspective of the SEC, which I'm not a fan of, but I mean, dude just took a copy of Ethereum. He copied it. And then that's it. And then he touts that it's faster and it's cheaper and it's more efficient and it's hack proof and all this stuff.
I don't know. Anyway, I do have an opinion about this.
Please, Rocco.
So
yeah.
That's, also, this project is nothing new. I don't think it's the fact it was loud and it's going around the bags of Louis Vuitton. Everybody should be free to do that. I understand that part. But one part I think is a play here is the SEC now needs a win so bad. They probably see this as a slam dunk. So just, this guy is loud. Everybody knows him. We win to win. This is probably a sure wins for the SEC. Just my point of view.
I think they do realize that it is probably this is definitely an easier case to win versus
absolutely
the Coinbase versus Binance. Like,
yeah.
I think that a lot of the demeanor of Richard has made it a little easier to prosecute him.
Yeah.
And especially with a jury trial. I agree with you there.
They need a new Kardashian situation.
But at some point, regardless of how corrupt the SEC is, regardless of how corrupt our government is, at some point, if you are running a fraud and you just keep the operation growing and it just keeps taking people's money and it gets larger and larger and you just keep launching new fraud products, at some point, even if somebody's corrupt, at some point, they're going to have to do their job, right? You can say the police are corrupt, but if you go down the streets and you're not arresting for shoplifting, at some point, if you start stealing big enough stuff, they're going to arrest you, right? The cops can be like, you know what? You're going to walk into Walgreens and steal a bunch of stuff. We're not going to stop you. Okay, yeah, you're stealing lawn ornaments. Okay, that's cool. We're not going to stop you. All right, you got a car. Maybe we'll get you. All right, so, okay, you broke into a bank. Okay, at some point, the government is going to step in. And whether or not you can sit here and look at it as an easy case, at some point, how many more chains this dude got to launch before the SEC's like, all right, man, like, stop it. Like, you already stole $1 billion, bro. Like, stop it. Like, at some point, the SEC is going to go after him. And I think I would like to take the politics out of it on this one. I would personally like, that's my stance, and you guys, can have your own, but at this point, I don't think they're looking at it like, well, let's go after Richard because it's going to put another notch on our belt, and this one looks like an easier case than the other one. I just literally think they're like, guys, we got to stop this dude, man. Like, this man, like, literally, he's just trolling everybody, right? And at some point, you got to put an end to it. And so we can make the parallels and say this is an easier court case to win than another, but there's got to be somebody that's like, man, there's a lot of people that are losing money on this one. Like, let's do our job. Right?
I got a question for you, Robin.
What's up?
And don't laugh. This is a very serious question, okay? Are you buying the HEX dip? Or if someone is considering buying the HEX dip.
There's no reason to do that. It's honestly, like, David, I would really encourage you to put a break on that, bro. And I'm asking you as a friend, in the same way that we should not advise people, is it a good time to buy the Voyager token was going down, the FTT token?
But Robin, people are doing it. That's why I'm asking you.
What I'm saying is that it shouldn't even be a question. I think we're at this point making a stand here, right? It shouldn't even be, we shouldn't even entertain the idea, right? We shouldn't say that there's certain taboos in this in world. When we go down the long list of taboos, you know what I mean? Like sexual things. You can go down the long list of things that like we do not tolerate in society. And I do not tolerate theft, fraud. I don't do it, man. If you go up and you punch somebody you punch a lady in the face or something, it's not tolerated. And if you're just blindly gonna steal money, it's not okay. And I don't even want to freaking talk about the fact that, like, should we buy the dip? It's not even a question. It's not even a fucking question. Like, do not fucking operate with this guy, man. And if you think you're gonna get a discount, you're gonna get burned. Now, are there gonna be some people that buy it now and it bounces back and they sell it later? Sure, okay. There are some I'm not saying that it's a full 100% drop from here. I'm not making that argument. But you will not hear from my mouth, and I encourage you, David, to not even fucking say that shit, that, look, we are not endorsing any purchase of this token. Period. Ecosystem, trash. Richard Hart, trash. Done.
I agree with you. And the reason that question was asked, it was not asked to tell people, hey, look at the chart. It might be a good time to buy. It is because people will do what you say. People will continue to buy. People believe in Richard Hart, blindly believe in Richard Hart. It's like they're stargazed, like logic goes out the window. And so if you're thinking about, there's so many better places to put your money, please, for the love of God, look elsewhere. This project, and I'm going to say it, this is a dead project. Whether the SEC shuts him down or whether Richard Hart comes in and just pays a fine, this is a dead project. Once new money stops flowing in, the project is done. That is the official definition of a Ponzi scheme.
Now, the problem with the Ponzi scheme is that they've locked the doors on people with this long-term staking. Like, there people staking for 3 years, 4 years, 8 years. They have no chance of getting out. Zero.
And, I understand the HEX community is extremely vocal. They're extremely passionate. And some of you watching might not be happy to hear the words that are coming from our mouths. But one thing you will get from this channel is our 100% honest, truthful outlook on certain things. And we don't really care if we get attacked on social media. I don't really care if people find my number and start texting me and threatening me. I really don't give a shit. What I care about is you watching, making sure you have the right information. And once I feel strongly about something so bad, and I don't give two shits if HEX comes back and hits new all-time highs, I don't care. I'm telling you, you should not be investing any more of your hard-earned money into anything related to Richard Hart. And we'll leave it at that.
Real quick, I want to give a little shout out to some people dropping their super chats in here. Now, our super chat might be a Ponzi scheme because there's no return on investment there other than a shout out.
There is a return on investment. So, channel good.
Now, we do have Ultimo Mayo dropped $4.99 super chat. Says, thank you, Rob. Also, Zoltan, $2 super chat. Jamie Gonzalez, $1.99. He says, hola, I bought X. So, honestly, I
that's why I brought that question, Robin. That is exactly why I asked you that question.
Now, here's the thing. I don't care what you got. I'll be honest with you. I really don't care what you do with your money. What I'm telling you is that out of my voice, my channel, my platform, I will not sit here and entertain the fact. I will not try to give you a glimmer of possibility of making money. Like, I just don't believe in this at all. And so for me, I want to stay so far away from making a suggestion on trying to buy it to maybe make some money or whatever. If you want to do it, that's fine. You can make money on meme coins. I'm not going to endorse that either. Like, low risk. Like, all I'm saying is that I don't care what you do with your money.
No, I care.
But
don't buy HEX.
I don't care what decisions you want to do. You want to take on massive risk. You want to try to buy it now and flip it if it bounces. go ahead. But what I'm saying is that I'm going to tell you personally, my personal thing is stay the hell away, man. You're more than likely going to get burned. And I just don't believe in it at all. And we can go, there's smarter ways about going about making money. Dude, just DCA to Ethereum, man. It's $1,000 right now and some change. 1,900.
It's almost $2,000.
But it's a lot of change. 1,000 something dollars. I'm just trying to,
I know.
Make it more relatable.
I know.
But anyways, you got this. You can buy it now for $2,000. You happy, David? And at the next bull market, in the next bull market top, it's probably going to be over 10 racks, man. Maybe 20. I don't know. And that's a good return on investment, man. Or if you want to trade, like, you're better off, trading Bitcoin on leverage and getting some entry exit positions. And I'm not even a leverage trader, but I think that's way more of a sound idea than you buying this trash. Also, Biomex, $20 super chat. It says SEC is fire.
Not the SEC, SCC, which is Sin City Crypto.
Is that what it stands for? Wow. Also, we got some new people here. If you are new, say hello. So we can drop an hola back at you. We got Crypto Billionaire. Here we go again. Joe, Mr. INTP, Olibata, Danny Two Stacks, Thomas V, and Meta Matt. To all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. I got a question, Rocco.
Yeah.
Did we cross 165 likes?
Let me take a look at my
195
quantum computer.
But not yet, Robin. Not yet.
It is time. You know what? We gotta lighten this up, man. My blood pressure's up there, man. This is normally what happens, right? Go out to the bar. I don't go to the bar much, but when I did go out to the bar, if I got rejected, right? I'm over here, doing my thing. I'm like, "What's up, boo?" And
what?
What's wrong with you?
And I get rejected.
I kind of lost. I didn't understand.
Okay. Anyways, if I get turned down and I'm at the bar, I'm going straight to the nightclub. I'm going to the dance floor. I'm gonna release some energy. And so right now I'm a little irritated, and so I need to release some energy. Rocco, open up the club. Let's go.
All right. Let's open the club. Ready?
That's right.
Okay, let's do it.
It's been a while, man. It's been a while since we opened up the club, man. I like to thank the crowd here for showing up, full support. Another $19.99 super chat. I wonder where you guys are keeping that extra penny and not doing the $20. But,
Damn, guys, it ain't even Friday. It's not even payday. Thank you for all your support, you guys. We really appreciate it.
Big Swole says, love, best show in crypto. Love you guys. HEX and RH.
I wonder what RH stands for. Also, my boy Brokey Yoshi, not so broke, as he gifted 10 memberships. So thank you to you as well. Robin, I want to add, say some ladies for the rest of it. Man, what a fun time that was.
Yeah.
Had a good time.
That was a good time, man.
If you were there and we met you, thank you so much for coming. It was a pleasure. Man, we always love meeting our community.
Those are not random ladies we ran into. Those are our friends. So big shout out to Sandra, Brittany, and Aaron. Beautiful ladies there. So we enjoyed. They came out to our event. So, but yeah, man, we brought out our friends, but they also look pretty good. So a little arm candy there for your boy. You're rolling up to the party in style. What's up?
Okay, yeah, pull up. All right, Rob, I do want to talk about a big hack that happened in DeFi, and that is Curve Finance. They were drained of $50 million while the Curve token sank 12% in the latest DeFi exploit. Stop me if you've heard this before. DeFi exploit, bridge hack, man, guys, but let me tell you something, okay? You are literally on floor number 1 of a technology that is going to revolutionize the way you do money, okay? And with any new technology, there's going to be hiccups. There's going to be exploits. There's going to be issues. There's going to be people who take advantage of it, Richard. So just understand that, okay? Understand there are risks to being on floor number 1, and that's where we're at, okay? The idea is we empower people smarter than us, to get through these and really bring crypto and blockchain and that technology up to par to where it could do what it's going to do, which is revolutionize finance and money. Curve, a stablecoin exchange at the heart of DeFi platform on Ethereum, has been the victim of an exploit. Curve relies on smart contracts instead of middlemen to offer financial services such as stablecoin borrowing, trading, and lending to users. Just in case you had no idea what Curve was, upwards of $100 million worth of crypto are at risk due to a re-entrancy bug in programming language Viper, which is used to power parts of the Curve ecosystem. Several stablecoin pools on the platform have been drained by hackers so far. I might add, part of it is black hat hackers, part of it is white hat hackers. And if you're not familiar with what that means or why that happens, once a hack is identified, the black hat hackers, those are the bad ones, then there's these people called white hat hackers. So they'll go in and they'll start hacking too. But the difference is the white hat hackers, they're going to give that money back to the protocol. Because they're like, okay, fine, we got bad people hacking, draining money. You guys go hack, start getting the money out so we can start paying people back once we solidify the contract. And that is what they mean by white hat hackers. Now, reentrancy is a common bug that allows attackers to trick a smart contract by making repeated calls to a protocol in order to steal assets. Other projects that use the Viper programming language could share the same vulnerability. Mimaklis also said, all affected pools have been drained or white hacked, and the team is assessing the situation with affected teams. Now, you might be asking, well, who else uses Viper? At one point, Uniswap was built on Viper, but as of right now, guys, Curve and also Yearn Finance also uses Viper programming language. And until these issues are fixed, just be careful. If you have money in the Yearn ecosystem, I will remove that immediately, just until the dust starts to settle. Rob, what are your overall thoughts? Do you agree with me that this is just par for the course? It's something that we should expect and we just got to deal with it? Or you think there's not enough people doing enough or taking it seriously enough to be able to stop these things from happening?
I think it's like natural market constraints, right? And so in a traditional world, you would have a bank. Let's just say in a traditional finance, you have a bank and you want to offer loan services. You have to apply and set that up and register with different banking charters, FDIC or the SEC, depending on the services. And so as you expand your utility, essentially, the traditional finance way, you're supposed to go through different organizations to make sure you do it correctly so there's least amount of mess ups, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think what we have here, because we have a lack of institutions that they register with, that this is, I guess how you're saying, par for the course, but the course is people's money. Now, do I advocate for it? Do I think it's fair? Do I think it's the right way of going about it? No. Well, no, I don't. I don't want to see anybody lose money, and especially not people that are just doing what the protocol suggests and saying, hey, we got a new feature, use this, and you can, make money or whatever it is. And so if they get duped into a false sense of security, I don't think that's right. Now, with that said, the market, because it lacks these security companies, protocols, and we're in a new industry, we're testing it out all in real time. And we're seeing it one after another. We're seeing it with bridge hacks. We're seeing it with vulnerabilities in source code, with liquidity, with the list goes on. And there's just no framework. So we're in uncharted territories. And the only people that hold accountability are the hackers. That's the thing. It's like the hackers are the ones that decide, or the ability of the hackers are the ones that decide if it's safe. Why is Bitcoin so bulletproof? Because the hackers have tried, the scammers have tried, and you can't break the code. And if you look at something else, but remember, Bitcoin wasn't the first attempt at a cryptocurrency. You had Liberty Coin. There was another one before that as well. So private money had been attempted before.
It was the 90s, guys.
Yeah, and those did not work because why? Hackers came in, busted it up. And, it's just the reality of it. And I think these products will evolve. They will be successful. Just at this current moment, you're playing around with an industry that doesn't really know what it's doing. It's going in the right direction. I do not stake my tokens. I do not provide liquidity, and I do not offer any DeFi services with my coins. Even though I'm a degen, I love this space, I just don't have confidence that my tokens won't get lost. Now, you can incentivize certain people by saying, hey, get 20%, get 30%, make a lot more money than just putting it in a wallet. But with those gains comes more risk and exposure. Tread carefully.
I agree. And I think that is part of the reason why you have projects like Polkadot and Cosmos and even Cardano. I spent about 30 minutes at the party yesterday talking to a Cardano developer, and we talked about how Cardano has native assets that still leverage the layer 1. And I think we're eventually going to get to the point where we're going to see interoperability without the use of bridges, without the use of EVM, virtual machines, and it's all going to get handled on the layer 1. Now, which layer 1 is that going to be? Who knows? You have layer 0s like Quant. Could that be a leader? Potentially. But like Rob said, just be careful. If you are going to mess around in the DeFi ecosystem, try to spread your risk and understand that at any point, something can happen because we are so early in the technology. That's why you never invest money you can't afford to lose. Guys,
want to give a shout out to some of the new members or new people as well?
I give you permission.
Thank you. We do got Viking Polyrocker, Bada X23, Derek For Reals, Cameron Mitchell, Jonathan Evans, Christopher Keith, D Jack, Big GZ, and Chad. To all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Guys, if this is your first time watching a Sin City Crypto live show, we'd like to welcome you to our community. If you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe.
We don't always yell as much.
Hit the notification bell, but we are very passionate and we do care a lot about you. And that is why we get so animated, is because we care about you guys. We care about cryptocurrency. We care about our space. So if you enjoy the content, make sure to come back. We go live Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to go follow us on Twitter at SinCityCrypto1. There are many ways to support this channel. All those links are in the description of this video. Also, we do have, in my opinion, the best merch store out there, inandoutcrypto.com, where you'll find not only Sin City merch, but Bitcoin, Ethereum, merch for your lady, or if you are a lady, merch for yourself, even merch for your dog in your car. So check those out. And with that being said, guys, Rocco. Again, my friends, thank you so much for opening your week with us. Make sure to come back tomorrow. On behalf of all of us here at Sin City Crypto, we love you guys. And big shout out to channel sponsor, Cam's Blue Eye Technology. Until tomorrow.
Ciao tutti.
Ciao bello.
I want to thank everybody that also attended the party. It was fantastic to meet you all, guys. I'll see you soon. Ciao.
It was a party because Rocco's hair was flowing.
It's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming, hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.